compared to what Republicans usually do, he was the first American Republican president since 2004 in 20 years to win the popular vote. Nobody else had done that. McCain didn't do it. Romney didn't do it. Trump didn't do it the first time. He did that. He won the popular and the electoral ballot. He now controls whether you like it or not, or whatever margin.
Right.
There is a conservative majority in the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the executive branch. That's very rare for all branches of government to be in their hands. He radically changed the Republican Party. It's completely different. It's a nationalist, populist party. And he got a record number of Hispanics, 49%. He won 55% of the Mexican-American vote. He won 23% of the African-American male vote on most of the key issues on the border: illegal immigration, crime, energy, foreign policy. They were 60-40, 30-70 issues that he won on all of those issues. He was outspent 3-1 in the campaign, and he still overcame that. And he was indicted 93 times.
Right.
And he was taken off the ballot, at least attempted, in 25 states. He had his home raided. So with all of that, and to come through and win all of the swing states and 93% of the counties in the country. And the flip side is true. He destroyed the Democratic Party as we know it.
It's fascinating how Hanson frames this as more than just a political victory. He's describing a full-scale transformation of the Republican Party, from a traditional conservative institution into something far more populist and insurgent. The numbers he cites aren't just statistics. They represent a shift in who the party speaks to and who feels represented by it. And when you consider everything that was thrown at Trump, the indictments, the raids, the media pressure, Hanson sees his endurance as proof of a deeper cultural revolt taking place. What comes next in the conversation pushes that even further. He argues that this isn't just about elections anymore. It's a counter-revolution that's reshaping America's institutions, culture, and even its sense of national identity.
He's waging a 360-degree counter-revolution. It's sort of like the Thermidor reaction to the Jacobins, because he's not just doing politics. He's doing culture, sociology, economics. It's everything from the Smithsonian to the Kennedy Gallery, to architecture, to DEI, to transgendered sports. He's trying to flood the zone in every aspect of our lives and undo the progressive pop project single-handedly, basically. Right now, as we're talking, almost every university in the United States has reinstated the SAT, and there's no more loyal diversity oaths they're requiring for admission. I can tell you that all through the San Joaquin Valley, every high school is not allowing transgendered females to compete in high school sports.
Do we have a Trump doctrine? Is the Trump doctrine that the rest of the world is on its own unless they mess with us or our ally?
To paraphrase the strongman Sulla, it's no better friend, no worse enemy. Right. So he looks around the globe and he sees certain people, certain nations, personalities that he can work with and he likes, and they have common interest. And he tells them that if he aligns with the United States, all good things can happen. And then there's people who don't want to do it, and it's not really ideological. To some degree it is. And then he establishes deterrence. But what's weird about it is, because of the MAGA base and the history of intervention on the ground in the Middle East and
right.
Vietnam and all of that, he's the first president that has what Colin Powell, an exit strategy. So he goes in and takes out in 30 minutes the Iranian nuclear project for maybe 4 or 5 years. And then they want a performance art hit on our forces in Qatar. So he evacuates, they tell him they're gonna come. Iran hits our base with some ceremonial missiles. And then he says,
fine,
it's over, and we're gonna make Iran great. He did the same thing when he killed Soleimani. He said, they're gonna get mad, they're gonna shoot some missiles, everybody stay in the base. His idea is he wants to say, don't do it, but if you do it, this is what we're going to do to you. But he has a way to stop it, so we don't have what his base calls forever wars, at least so far. Takes the Wagner group out, takes Soleimani out, takes Baghdadi out, neutralizes Kim Jong-un for a while, and he doesn't get bogged down. No pretensions about nation building, changing the world. Same thing with these International Criminal Court, World Health Organization. Everybody knew that these groups were completely corrupt. And he comes along and says, we're done. And they say, you can't do that. This is the UN spin-off. He says, we're done. And everybody says, wow. They were done, weren't they? They were kind of corrupt. It was like he kicked in a rotten corpse or something, and that's what he does. Everybody gets very angry and says, you can't do that, you can't do that. And then all of a sudden they said, like he went over the Europeans at the funeral of the Pope, Notre Dame Cathedral. He was like Caesar said, Shakespeare said of Caesar in that line in Julius Caesar, he doth stride over us like a colossus, because he goes in there and everybody he has a blue suit on. They say he can't wear a blue suit. They all of a sudden you look back, there's 3 or 4 people wearing a blue suit. He's at the Notre Dame Cathedral and Macron's, let me get near him. And what does he tell Macron? He tells them all, your borders are completely open. You fell for this stupid Merkel. You left shorter deal with the Russians. You're not pumping natural gas. You have no military. And they say, yeah, that's right. And we're gonna, it's not like, Neil was right about the first term. It's not just the reaction to the election, but he looks back at his first term as incomplete, and he was naive, and he played the bipartisan. He pointed a lot of people from Bill Barr, John Bolton. This time it's disruptive, and it's a reaction to his first term, and it's a reaction to the wilderness years. He says he's not on a revenge tour, but that's a motivation. How do you maintain deterrence? It's psychological and material. So when you look at there's no way in the world Donald Trump would have had his national security advisor and Secretary of State go to Anchorage, Alaska, and be dressed down and humiliated in the way that Blinken and Sullivan were in 2 months into the administration. There's no way he would let a balloon traverse from China across half of the continental United States.
As Biden did.
Yes, just psychological. He would never allow that. He would have shot it down, he would have blown it up. AI, like genetic engineering, like robotics, like cryptocurrency, it's not clear that China's ahead. And the United States is drawing in all sorts of people now. And I think this reform of the university to be a disinterested, open, empirical place again will, in the short term, it's going to hurt it, but in the long term, it's going to be very positive. When you look at the basics of a civilization, energy, the United States is the largest natural gas producer, the largest national oil producer, and it's 4th in coal. It's the largest producer of atomic energy, even in its nadir.
In this video, Victor Davis Hanson offers a sweeping reflection on the political and cultural transformation unfolding in America. He portrays Trump not just as a political figure, but as the catalyst of a broader civilizational counter-revolution, one that challenges the ideological dominance of progressivism across institutions, media, and global alliances. Hanson's analysis feels almost historical in tone, as if documenting a shift in the nation's character rather than a mere change in leadership. Personally, I see his perspective as both unsettling and illuminating. Unsettling because it exposes how divided and fragile the system has become, yet illuminating in its reminder that every era of decline tends to spark a reaction, a struggle to recover purpose, order, and belief in something larger than politics.